Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I have for you guys a top 10 manhwa similar to Solo Leveling. Now, Solo Leveling is an extremely popular manhwa out right now, with season 2 of the manhwa having officially started. I really wanted to read similar manhwa to this because a week is too long to wait in between chapters. Also, this list won't include manhwa with an anime adaptation, which means Tower of God and God of High School won't be included. Now, with all that said, let's get straight into the list. Now, at number 10, we have Ranker Who Lives a Second Time. Yeon Woo, our main character, had a twin brother who disappeared 5 years ago. One day, a pocket watch left by his brother returned to his possession. Inside, he found a hidden diary, in which recorded, by the time you hear this, I guess I'll already be dead. Now, this manhwa is based on a revenge story of where our main character goes on a journey into this tower to find out what happened to his brother. So if you like cold-blooded MCs who are out for revenge, this is definitely the story for you. I recommend you guys giving this around 10 chapters to figure out whether you actually really like it or not. Now at number 9, we have Fff-Class Trashero. The protagonist, Kim Han-soo, killed the Demon King after 10 years of being summoned in the fantasy world. Now after killing the Demon King, he was supposed to send back to Earth, but he wasn't. The fantasy world god appears along with his report card. Because he removed all the obstacles that prevented him killing the Demon King, his personality score came out as F. The regression that follows is that he has to return to start and begin again. But can our MC end this endless returns? Now this manhwa is quite good right now. The art quality is amazing. I just recently finished reading this manhwa. It is extremely good. It is quite well paced. So now this story has an anti-hero main character, which means that he does everything the opposite as what you think your traditional hero character would do. And I think that's absolutely amazing because we kind of need that sort of change. And it is similar to Solo Leveling in the way that he does have a ranking system and he's able to level up and become stronger by killing monsters and other people. And he does have a sort of badass cold-blooded attitude that Sung Jin-woo has, except that turned out a 10 because he literally does not give a shit about killing people. And that is quite evident in the manhwa, even in this 10 chapters in. I highly recommend that if you like anti-heroes and cold-blooded MCs, this is definitely the manhwa for you. I would give this around 20 chapters. The art quality is a little different. It's slightly more cartoony compared to Solo Leveling, but it is pretty good. Now number 8, we have I Log In Alone. The 11-year-old Jung Si-woo never had any friends, because there was nothing interesting about him. He lived an average life as an average person in an average world. But suddenly, the earth faced a great change where mysterious floating sky castles appeared. These sky castles granted some people wings and powers, but unfortunately, Si-woo wasn't one of them. Now this manhwa is very similar to Solo Leveling in terms of how, and rather than gates appearing and awakening people, they have sky castles who then gave people powers, but our MC was not given the most strongest power. He shot from being the weakest to end up being the strongest. Similar to how Solo Leveling works, where Sung Jin-woo goes from the weakest to the strongest. Now number 7, we have I'm Destined For Greatness. When you succeed at everything you try, you have no choice but to seek challenges elsewhere, like in a game. By using trash jobs that no one pays attention to, with the right attitude, you're bound to accomplish your goals. Even succeeding at the most impossible of quests, the main character bets everything he has. My skills, I'll beat this game. Now, if you love an MC who is extremely smart and calculative, then this is definitely the manhwa for you. It's similar to Solo Leveling in terms of has a leveling up feature because this is a manhwa that's present in a game, so it's not a different world or world that's been changed into a fantasy setting. So if you like manhwas with a game-like setting, this is definitely the manhwa for you. And the main character is extremely smart. He actually uses his brain, and it's not some sort of dumb MC who just follow along with the story. He actually uses his brain to think about what he's going to do, and that's why he ends up being such a badass character. Now number 6, we have solo auto hunting. The world is under attack by monsters that are pouring in from the fractures, and the hunters who hunt these monsters are the most coveted jobs in the world currently. One day, our main character, Yoon-sing, who works his hardest from day to day as a worker in a meat restaurant, awakens an ability to automatically hunt monsters with the perfect techniques and physical prowesses like an MMORPG when he presses a button, auto hunting, that appears right in front of him. Now, just in the description alone, you can pretty much tell the fact that this is extremely similar to Solo Leveling, where instead of gates, they have fractures, and the hunters still called hunters, and our main character goes from being a weak, pretty much awakenless person who has zero potential to being someone who's given a OP cheat-like ability that enables them to go from the weakest to the strongest. Now at number 5, we have leveling up by only eating. The main character is stricken by a rare condition that affects only 2 people in the entire world, bulimic deficiency. He organizes daily meals to survive, but his hope of survival grows dimmer as days go by. He consults a doctor who suggests playing in the alternate reality game Athens, where he can eat as much as he wants to without gaining any weight. He plays the game to save his life and grow in strength by doing nothing but eating. A gourmet fantasy life. Again, this is a game-like Manhwa with a game-like setting where our main character can level up only by eating, as the name suggests. I recommend you guys giving this around 5 to 10 chapters. It's not as action-packed as Solo Leveling or some of the other manhwas like Fff-Class Trashero, but it's definitely a nice one. And if you enjoy mangas like Shokugeki no Soma, this is definitely right up your alley. Now, number 4, we have the legendary Moonlight Sculptor. The man forsaken by the world. The man a slave to money, and the man known as a legendary god of war in the highly popular MMORPG continent of magic. With the coming of age, he decides to say goodbye, but the feeble attempt to earn a little something for his time and effort ripples into an effect no one could have ever imagined. Through a series of coincidences, his legendary avatar is sold for 3,090,000,000 won, approximately $2.7 million, bringing great joy to him, only to plunge him into despair at losing almost all of it to vicious loan sharks. With the revelation of money through gaming, he rises from the abyss with newfound resolve and steps forward into the new age of games, led by the first ever virtual reality MMORPG, Royal Road. This is a legend of Li Hyun on his path to becoming the emperor with only his family's loving heart, his boundless desire for money, his unexpected mind, his diligently forward body, and talent of hard work backing him. Now, this manhwa is quite popular with over 138 chapters out right now. The art style does change in between, which is actually for the better, because the beginning the artwork's not that good, but it changes after around 60 to 70 chapters. Again, the story is quite similar in terms of weakest to strongest, except again this is like in a game-like setting where he was once strong and he knows how the game works, but he ends up selling the character for money, and then he realizes he can make money from selling these characters. So he starts off on a journey and he ends up finding a new class in the MMORPG called Moonlight Sculptor, which apparently no one has been able to unlock so far. And because of that, has these adventures where he has these powers that nobody else has, and he plays the game and get up to adventures with these secret powers. I definitely think you guys should give this around 20 chapters or 30 chapters, because it is kind slow in the beginning. So you need to give it a little bit more to truly feel like you actually really like this manhwa. Now, number 3, we have Tomb Raider King. The god's tomb started to appear around the world. Due to relics within these tombs, many were able to wield these legendary powers for themselves, while others became enslaved to its users. However, a Tomb Raider appeared with the purpose of robbing these relics, the Tomb Raider King. Now, this manhwa is very similar to Solo Leveling in the fact that rather than having gates, he has tombs, and the MC is able to gain powers from these tombs rather than the other way around. Now, number 2, we have the gamer. Han Ji-han, a normal high school student, suddenly develops a special power where his entire world is shifted into a game-like setting. He can see the power levels of people, look at his stats of seemingly normal items, and get abilities and even level up. As you can tell from the description, it is quite similar to Solo Leveling. This is actually one of the more original manhwas that came out, I think a lot before Solo Leveling did, and that is reflected in the quality of the artwork. It is not the best because it is slightly older manhwa, but it is still kind of producing new chapters, and because of that, there's over 300 something chapters. So if you want to binge read this one, I would definitely recommend this one for binge reading because the sheer amount of chapters. But because of that, it suffers from the fact that the chapters are sort of slow paced. So I would give this around 50 chapters to really figure out whether you like it or not. It has the same leveling up system, again, where he's only able to access the system and allows him to level up and give him special powers that nobody else has, and he's able to enter this new world where he wasn't previously involved once. Now, if you're someone who likes a little bit of romance or a little bit of action that comes into the story, this is not that for you. While there are female characters in this story, they don't really seem to take the center stage, and it's more or less about our main character and his best friend. Now, number 1, we have the Blade of Evolution, walking alone in the dungeon. A man awakened his healing ability, but his ability is trash. During a mission in an underground dungeon with his team, all the members of his team except him were killed. This was due to the angry last priest who was released because of them. In this dungeon, he got a sword and upgraded his power with that sword. Now, this manhwa is extremely similar to Solo Leveling in the fact that our main character here goes in a dungeon and he's essentially about to die because of a extremely strong boss, but then at the last moment, he is able to find a sword in this dungeon, and that this sword upgraded his powers, and that took him from being one of the weakest people in his group to suddenly becoming one of the strongest. Sounds similar? Yes, this is pretty much similar to how Solo Leveling works, where Sung Jin-woo enters the hidden chamber in the D-rank dungeon and is able to gain the system powers after almost dying, And in this case, pretty much similar as well, where all his teammates are dead and he suddenly gains a special power that take him to become one of the strongest members, and that this continues on. Now this manhwa is quite new, with only I think around 16 chapters. This manhwa is going pretty steady. So far it's going pretty good. Hopefully they don't make any big changes to it, because I think this where it's going right now is a good pace. So yeah, I recommend giving you guys 5 to 10 chapters, and I think within those you'd be able to, whether you like this manhwa or not. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. That is the end of this top 10 manhwa similar to Soul Leveling list. If you guys did enjoy this video, why not smack the like button down below. Also, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. It's been really amazing to create this video so far. If you want to see more videos just like this, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, be sure to comment in the comment section down below if you have any recommendations for video ideas similar to this or anything like that. Or is there any manhwa you think I should have included in this list? Why not write in the comment section down below. With all that said, guys, I've been Mr. Miraie, and I'll see you guys in the next video.